What is good, everybody? It's your boy Jay in the building. We is back again with another video. Scotty! My boy Scotty we found Scotty at the SEC Media Day. Asking questions. Being a pest. But I love it, man. So, shout out to Scotty, man, and the work he's been putting on his channel, dog. Watch a lot of his episodes, man. I catch it when I catch it. But yeah, shout out to Scotty and the work that he's been putting, dog. He's really been putting on probably top 2 best HBCU content creators that we have right now, man. Top two. But so he asked some questions to Lane Kiffin and and to that coach at Alabama, right? So I'm gonna react to these two questions, and then I'm kind of gonna just give my thoughts on it. So without further ado, man, and this is also for those who probably haven't watched it by now, who haven't seen it by now. But let's go ahead and get it going. Let's see what he said.
Well,
how you doing, Coach? Scotty from Off Script, 2-part question. There's 2 big personalities in the state of Mississippi, you and Deion Sanders. How has Deion Sanders touching down in Mississippi affected your recruiting? And also, I see that you have Central Arkansas on your schedule. Is there any plan down the line to play at Jackson State University? And are you open to that?
Well, we got another personality in Mike Leach, so I would say there's 3 personalities in the state that are very unique and extremely different from each other. So it's been great to see Deion's success, Coach Sanders' success, and how well he's done down there and how well he's done in recruiting. And so I don't know future scheduling plans on that, but that would be exciting.
I mean, so look, he didn't really fully answer the question like he was supposed to, because look, now I saw an interview, or I saw a question, that Coach Eddie George was a part of, and it was a question about him, I guess, asking to play. I think it was either Ohio State or it may have been the process of them speaking about playing against Notre Dame, which they're playing next year. So I think one of the coaches said, yeah, we should do that. Now, a matter of fact, I think it was the Ohio State coach. The Ohio State coach said that he was definitely open to playing against Tennessee State one of these days. And I would have thought that Lane Kiffin would have took that road of, I would love to play against Jackson State. Because, look, eventually it's going to happen. Like, eventually we're all going to have to see who the king of Mississippi is. Now, and look, Jackson State is not only the hottest team in Mississippi. They're the hottest team in college football, period. That's either FCS or FBS. They're the hottest team. And when I mean hot, I'm talking about recruiting-wise. I'm talking about exposure-wise. I'm talking about, who everybody has their eyes on. If somebody posted a YouTube video about Jackson State, they're going to get more views today than any other school that you post about today. So Ole Miss and Mississippi State sees what is going on with Jackson State. And I do believe that if that trend continues, then eventually they're going to see each other. Now, of course, I believe Jackson State is going to have to go on the road and play one of these teams. But I believe it's definitely going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And look, I can't see a scenario. Well, I don't want to see a scenario where it could possibly be a blowout, and then we'll have to ask more questions. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really, if they so happen to see each other, I don't think it'll be a blowout by any chance. Especially at the trajectory that Jackson State is heading to. Especially with talks about them going to the Big Ten. I don't see how that run would stop anytime soon. I don't see how that run would stop. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that Jackson State is on the rise, and not only these two schools in Mississippi. But I believe that every other team in the SEC is really paying attention. All right, and we have the big dog question. The question to the big dog, the Alabama coach, Saint Nick. Let's see what he had to say about Scotty's question.
Good morning, Coach Saban. Scotty from Offscript. There's been a seismic shift with HBCUs and their popularity, but you also have FBS programs playing them. LSU is playing Southern. You have Notre Dame stepping out and playing Tennessee State. Could we ever see an Alabama playing at Alabama State or an Alabama A&M down the line? And the second part to that is, how have FCS systems become feeders to Power 5 programs as well as the transfer portal?
Yeah, well, I think that I certainly can see. We've tried to be very supportive. Ms. Terry's on the Board of Trustees at Stillman College, and I've always been an advocate of playing in-state schools because I think it sort of helps them, raise their level and their ability.
All right, let's stop right there. I'm going to stop. I'm going to rewind a little bit, but come on. You've been an advocate of playing in-state schools. Why we ain't seen it? Like, you have Alabama State and Alabama A&M for as long as you've been there. When have they ever seen your field? When have they seen it? You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen it. Look, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. If y'all seen them play Alabama State and Alabama A&M at Alabama, y'all let me know. But I have not seen it. So the fact that you come out and say that you are an advocate of playing in-state schools, when I know for a fact that you have the power to do so, you definitely have the power to say, to make that call and say, I want to play Alabama State. I want to play Alabama A&M. I just don't see how you haven't took the time to make that call. I don't know, man. And you know how big their Magic City, Classic is. And I know you heard about it. Like you're not that oblivious to what those two schools have been doing. And Alabama ain't that big. Ain't no pro teams out there in Alabama. Ain't no pro teams out there. So you heard about Alabama State and Alabama A&M. You heard it. Just saying. Advocate of playing in-state school. Why you ain't done it yet? Let's keep going.
Because I think it sort of helps them, raise their level and their ability to compete, which obviously if you do that, you also contribute to how successful the players, in those organizations can be. So I would be very much in favor, of that. I do think that some of the really, really good players, I think it's going to work both ways. I think some of the really good players in that league are going to have opportunities to go other places, but I also think that there'll be some players that come back to that league that will also be able to enhance their value as players because of the opportunity that will be created for them by playing at that level. So all good things.
Coach, we're going to go around on our right.
Now, I do agree with one thing that he said. And I'm going to give an example a little bit. To where he said that, look, even if an FCS team went to like an Alabama or a North Carolina or just any team in the SEC or the Big Ten, you can have that team overpower an FCS team, but if you got that one dog on that FCS team and that dog really shows up and has a big game, that could potentially boost his draft stock. Example, the Kobe Durant. Clemson destroyed South Carolina State. But those two plays that the Kobe Durant made, even though those plays had zero value to the game, that boosted his draft stock. And so, just having those opportunities for those guys who are playing at a smaller school to play against a Power 5 school, just to have that opportunity to get the exposure. Because look, Freaky Fred said it himself. Exposure leads to expansion. You know what I'm saying? So you would definitely benefit from playing a Power 5 school. And the nerve of people to really say, well, why would it matter if Alabama State or Alabama A&M play them, because you're going to get smashed by 50, 60 anyway. And that's not the point. Like, okay, speaking from a football player, right? You have to think of it like this. What the hell are you playing football for if you're not trying to beat the best? Honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're going to speak from a fan's perspective, fine, I get it. But from an athlete, from a competitor standpoint, you're going to play who you have in front of you. And it don't matter who. And if you don't have confidence in yourself that you can win against anybody you play in front of, why the hell are you suiting up anyway? Let's just say, for instance, Alabama A&M is going to play Alabama in 2 to 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Look, and the recruitment has gotten better, and better. And then the year that game comes, and if you have people in the locker room that are not ready to play, or they have in their head that, oh, it's Alabama, so we're going to lose anyway, you damn right you're going to lose. But you're going to get smacked around by more than what you thought you're going to lose by, because you don't have enough confidence in yourself that you can win. First of all, the coaches ain't prepared you hard enough, and you ain't worked out hard enough. Look, the only way you're going to get better as a player is if you put in the work. Ain't no difference between the FBS and the FCS. You have coaches that coach harder. You have players that work harder in the off season. You have to be more focused, and you have to be able to perfect your craft. Like, you have players who've played 2 and 3 years of football and then are good enough to play college football. Like, you have to perfect your craft in any way, shape, or form by all stretch of the imagination. Why would you not have enough confidence? Like, if you're Alabama State or Alabama A&M, if you don't have enough confidence in yourself that you're going to win, no matter if it's Alabama or if it's North Dakota State, if you, the player, don't have enough confidence in yourself, then why should your fan base? Why should your fan base support you and stand behind you if the player himself don't have enough confidence that he can win? It's all about confidence, man. Look, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard, man. Like, you may not be the most talented. Look, and look, hear me out with this too. It's a difference between working hard and losing by 30 and laying down, quitting, and losing by 30. It's a big difference. And you can tell when a person is trying hard and it's just not your day versus a person laying down and quitting on the team and then being thrown around the field. It's a big difference. And it's just effort and heart. It's just all about effort. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have guys in the locker room, no matter who you go up against, bro, if that player next to you don't have enough confidence in himself, why the hell is he playing with you? Leave him in the locker room. Matter of fact, don't even take him on the bus with you. You know what I'm saying? So look, but that's all I had to say about this, man. But shout out to Scotty. Shout out to Scotty, man. Yo, I know he's probably on a high right now that both of his questions making headlines. But shout out to Scotty, man. Yo, Scotty, yo. That's what's up, bro. For real, man. I'm proud of you, man. For real.